So I've been using this phone for over a year now, and honestly I didn't expect I would still be using it today. Because when I first got the Qin F21 Pro, the idea was simple: reduce screen time, stop doom scrolling and use my phone more intentionally. But after a full year of daily use, the question is, did it actually work, and is it still worth using today? Let's talk about it. So at the start for me, this phone felt like a kind of experiment. A dumb phone that isn't really dumb, and at the beginning it worked almost perfectly. Less scrolling, less distraction, more intentional use. But after a year something interesting happened. It stopped feeling like a solution and started feeling like a tool I need to work around. Even after a year, there are still things I really like about this phone. The first one is obvious: the size. It's super small, super pocketable and honestly refreshing compared to modern smartphones. The second big reason is the same reason I bought it in the first place. It still helps me reduce screen time. Because the screen is small and not very enjoyable for long sessions, I don't really get stuck doom scrolling anymore. I open apps, I do what I need and I put it away again, most of the time. And over time that actually changed my habits. I'm just not as addicted to my screen as I used to be, but there's always room for improvement. And the third reason, of course, is you can use almost all of the apps you would also use on a regular smartphone. Like for example WhatsApp, Shazam, Google Maps, Spotify, social media if you really need to. Also, I think I got really good at typing on this device. At the beginning of this journey that was really something that bothered me, that I wasn't able to type at a normal speed, but with a good keyboard app like Gboard and predictive typing turned on, I can confidently say that I can type quite fast on it. The biggest takeaway after 1 year. This is probably the most important thing I learned. The phone didn't completely replace my smartphone, because the Qin F21 Pro can do everything, so now I basically have two devices. This phone for daily use and a normal smartphone as a backup tool, which is kind of ironic because the whole idea was to simplify. And that second one became more important over time than I expected. Because the longer I used the Qin F21 Pro, the more I realized some apps just don't work properly on it. What started to become a problem? This became really clear during travel. For example, when I was on a trip to Vienna. It started at the airport. The Eurowings app didn't work at all because it required a newer Android version, so for that I had to use my smartphone. Then we had to take the train. The OBB train app opened, but I couldn't access the quad ticket, so I had to use my smartphone for that as well. And that was a bummer and a bit of a reality check. Because in those moments I had no choice but to rely on my regular smartphone again. This phone only uses Android 11, so that brings more restrictions beyond the small screen. So even though this phone still works today, it might not be the best to rely on when traveling, for example. So after 1 year, what's my conclusion? I'm still really happy I bought this phone. It generally helped me reduce screen addiction and made me way more intentional with my phone use. For basic daily use, like looking up info, calling, texting, listening to music, using Google Maps, etc., it is really good. But it's not a full replacement for a smartphone, at least not in every situation. And also in scenarios closer to home, you still have to take into account you might need a smartphone or a support device to do certain tasks or actions. Would I still recommend it after 1 year? Yes, but with expectations. If you want a full smartphone replacement, this is not it yet. However, I believe that if this phone would have a newer Android version, it would actually eliminate like 80% of the troubles I personally have with it. That prevents me from fully relying on it. But if you want to change how you use your phone, then yeah, this phone really does that very well. But I still would advise to always have a support device with you, because you never know when something on the way happens where you won't be able to solve it with the Qin F21 Pro. Let me know if you ever tried a phone like this or if you'd consider switching. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.